No, memento. Por favor. Just finishing up lunch and junk. Also, I believe I need to switch my HDMI and my PS4 plugged in, playing a game with my brother a few days ago. Actually, I might need to switch this. Well, no, I don't think I do. I hope I don't. That might be inconvenient. Might need to switch that now. But, let me get this on. Controller 1 on. Controller 2. There we go. It's all good. Let me turn off that music. There we go. Made some homemade garlic pizza, so I'm just finishing that off real quick. We just got things extended a little bit. Gonna try and figure out who the real murderer is. Bit similar to the case in the first game. Not sure why they did it like that, but you know they did it. Dude, I can't believe that. Adrian? No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andres. She is your manager. Would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted the blood-covered button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Cordelia. But, like, why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She had her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time the trial's over. Alright, I'll get you acquainted with the acquitted by the end of the day. Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Zelsta and Park's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Park as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Park suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it is John Cordelia, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Cordelia. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible, but one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Park. It was Edgeworth. Looks like he's still the one in command of the ship. Don't let your guard down yet. What if his new way of thinking is to actually fight for justice, though? We already know this part. She's still playing with that card. Ah. Man, I'm probably gonna have to refill my water later. Anyways, that part wasn't as important, so I'm just kind of skipping through it. We get this part. And I don't want to stall. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Cordelia. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and John. This was a private matter between me and John myself.
So it was a fray and bait matter. Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that, at least not right now. I mean Phoenix is, but besides the point. I think someone would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim, Miss Andrews.
I mean, I don't, but... Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court. Stuffy nose. About what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. She's still playing with that card. The card that we saw Maya using. Well, that she saw. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to John's room. There was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
You poured yourself a glass of juice?
Yes, sadly I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime, and I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on wine glass were made, Your Honor.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match.
Yes, I know.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing?
She's not the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking, so you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant the trial's over, understand?
Sure.
Grup. Hang on uno momento, por favor. I want to get this guide up again, just in case they have more cases that have things that are the actual answer, but they want you to do some weird roundabout way to actually do them. Still hate it. Still hate it. I think I'm on this part. Okay. Let's see.
You are in shock?
What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. Despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Cordelia. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. You can't seriously expect a young beauty like her not being shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I see. Juice.
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh? There was no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time.
When you discovered the dead body of John Cordelia, you were in great shock, and that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct? And whatever. My mind was really a complete blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake, that one thing.
And what one thing?
Never mind, it's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now?
Yeah, hey Perp. Yeah, I appreciate the lurk. You're always appreciated. But yeah. Let's get this jerk, this B word, this female dog at a kennel.
Miss Andrews.
I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I.
I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime scene? This mess of glass shards.
It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
Why did you withhold such important piece of information?
I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was another part of the mess.
Huh? It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this.
Yeah, add it to the testimony. So what do we want to look at? The guitar case? But yeah, the guitar case wasn't wet. We established that before. Where was that photo? This wasn't the normal one. That's the area. Yeah, it looks like there's wet marks under it, right? So that means the vase fell before the guitar case was open. She doesn't have a guitar on her, though. I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. It's like something up my ear. Not like here and right. Or it's my nose, because it's like slightly runny or something. I don't know. There's a contradiction, or it fell onto the guitar case. But yeah. So, do I want to yeah. Present the guitar case on the crime photo on either fourth or the newly added statement. Yeah. Okay, so I can show you. I hate how they have specific ways. But yeah, There is some water, but only on top of the lid. So it was opened after the thing happened. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
That's very true.
Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about the guitar case.
Ooh, what is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor.
What's wrong with that?
If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not on the outside of the case. Huh? What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over. Is that all? No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that, other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else.
Yes, that's right. She didn't explicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case.
But this whole matter with the guitar case is dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on the case at all. That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it?
It does seem. Seems that there is no deeper meaning to this guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case?
I mean, I think there needs to be, but are they going to make me do more? Okay, yeah. The empty guitar case. I believe this is crucial to the piece of the puzzle. Crucial piece of the puzzle? I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like you, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either.
Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about this guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor. Excuse me. Am I running out of water? No, I got one more. Now I'm out of water. I'll probably wait for like at least an hour and to go refill that. I don't remember it too clearly because I was in a bit of daze. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
It looks like this wasn't a very important point.
This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Why? 'Cause Phoenix always wastes time? Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using any way to change a topic, convenient escape for the week. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, isn't there an important piece here? She just said that she opened it, but there's only that dude's fingerprints on the case. She's already contradicting herself even more. Wait just a darn tootin' second. There is no way. You were the one who opened the guitar case. You piece of female dog out of kennel. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. Unless, of course, you have gloves on at the time.
What is it, Miss Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It was the night of the awards ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I was sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. But Mr. Wright?
That's strange, since she just said that before, that she poured juice. Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? I have proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on, just to open the guitar case? She broke her glasses? No, that was a good one.
Order! Order, order! Order, order, order!
Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
What do you mean?
I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here.
But it's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all your presumptions. What was in the guitar case that was not the bright red guitar?
You don't mean... It was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. The suicide note was in the guitar case. Right? I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So, the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that the case...
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's unusual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us into this misguided...
No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it was wide open in the photo of the crime scene. I am sure this case has some relation to the murder.
If you're so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow sustain your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder.
Can you do that, Mr. Wright?
Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar...
So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, Wright?
I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove.
Deflate that head of yours. You hadn't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder?
I mean, I want to say the suicide note, so do they want me to say the suicide report? Or no? Or do I want to say something else? Oh yeah, I guess it could have been a photo. Maybe.
Present either Nickel Samurai or Lada photo.
I was thinking the suicide note, but are we saying that was actually Jean instead of... It doesn't say how tall he was. I'll try it. This is a photograph.
Yes, but what is important is that the picture is in the picture.
In the picture?
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. I mean, proposing is...
Inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
Ooh. What?
I didn't even think about the costume being in there, to be honest. I was thinking the suicide note might have been in there.
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that?
The insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave. Could you, Miss Andrews?
I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea?
Just outside the door was the investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop.
Excuse me. Garlic. All those great noises people love to hear in these types of games. That ASMR.
And in the end, she managed to get this shot correct.
No, you mean this photo? Order, Boulder. It looks like we've wandered into something. Another mess, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix.
Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later.
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
Wait a second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai costume would have been Mr. Mad on guards. Why would something of the defendants be in the victim's room, and inside the guitar case of all places?
True, this is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai doing?
It was stolen from on guard, or it was a spare costume? Okay, yeah, I wasn't thinking. I was thinking it was a spare costume, but it looks like you get some funny scene if you say it was stolen. I'll just say it's spare.
Mr. Angard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume you're talking about was a spare one.
What?
Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gay Water Hotel?
Yes, this is what I'm saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case?
It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose.
But why? The victim, Mr. Cordelia, was the German ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai's spare costume with him? What could be the reason for such a peculiar act?
The press conference show.
Yes.
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of an inner monologue?
No, I just...
Mr. Wright, please explain. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer. Before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you.
This is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to hotel was...
What is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
The special press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
I heard about that as well. For once you're not making something up, right?
Well, what struck me as strange was that Mr. Angard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. John Cordelia himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Cordelia was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. It was all a ruse.
He was going to dress up the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference. But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at the conference.
The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that John Cordelia, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Man on Guard.
Yes, I guess that is what it would mean.
But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's a public disclosure.
Miss Andrews?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you said, the press conference was set up by Jean. Uh-huh.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You?
John had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway.
He was going to ruin him, huh?
It looked like somehow John had in his hand a secret so powerful that would destroy Matt on Guard's acting career had it been revealed.
What?
Men, do you know what the secret of Mr. On Guard's is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only John knew. I don't know what it is.
I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. That's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt after all.
Protect Mr. On Guard?
And yet another strange bit of truth comes to light. Miss Andrews, if you could tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
It's all a bit interesting.
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill John no matter what. He didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault with the testimony, I'm ready to make a ruling. Please keep in mind, as you cross-examine Mr. Wright.
Okay, somehow things swung. Turn the logic upside down. Yada yada. Let's beat her up. Would you say that your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods with your reasoning. Reasoning with your own. Whatever. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need three things.
3 things?
A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these three things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix.
They didn't teach that to us in school, at least not from what I remember.
May I continue now? Confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and knife.
You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be clever camouflage.
Then, what about the button?
The button?
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought, and during the fight, the killer ripped the button from Jamming Ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
The button was found in the plates of Matt's Hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes very decisive evidence.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, this knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
Can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
With an icy stare, yes.
What?
Miss Andrews, and for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this to your testimony.
Now that's an interesting way to say it. It was torn off. It's true, the button would have been pulled off after the stab. Oh yeah, where is it? There it is. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
Min, what does that mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body.
Order, what is the meaning?
What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? For what purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort purposely to rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button?
There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on guard. There's no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course.
And the real murderer is, well, Mr. Wright. Who in the world is the real murderer then? Murder Bombadero then.
Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet, not until the very end.
The real killer.
The real killer planned to frame Miss On Guard is... I mean, we don't even know anything about the killer, so we could say that. But what if we wanted to say him? But I don't know. Let's just do it. Miss Andrews, I choose you. You're Miss Corderia's killer. What? I choose you, Pokemon.
Order, Mr. Wright. It is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. Oh, how preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? And what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after you had already been strangled to death.
If it was used to throw suspicion onto on God, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
Then, what about the button that was found in Matsukama?
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On God was the real killer, there's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On God's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews.
But I see, what about the empty guitar case?
That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume inside the case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No,
But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case, and it was you who proved that she was not wearing the gloves at the time.
That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of the dead body. And to top it all off, there's this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe that this nickel samurai is Mr. On God. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
please stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time.
Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me.
Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday, Mr. On God's room.
Adrian Andrews. Yes. Think hard about what he just discussed. Understood?
That's it. That's when Francesca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews not to testify if things looked bad.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix, but there's still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done?
What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence?
What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sure you've realized this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial? Lawyer words?
Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Cordelia.
Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Miss Cordelia?
I believe this may lead to incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so. Or maybe not. There's nothing to prove either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
No, she's taking that defendant attitude again. Maya, Mia, what should we do?
Somehow we've landed in a worst possible situation. Yeah.
I think we've reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Has refused to testify in the defense theory she's actual murderer and has not been fully sustained with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there's only one thing the court can do, and that is declare a recess.
Recess.
Request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter, and at tomorrow's trial.
Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. We don't get a not guilty verdict today, then. Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. A trial. Please continue the trial.
What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
It's not impossible for this trial to continue. Wait, what? It is not impossible? It is possible, or I don't know.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you?
It's true that Miss Andrews hold the right to self-incrimination, however, if the topic of conversation was something unrelated to which she may be guilty of, and she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that is very true, but...
Actually, there's one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and... I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but before you speak, I want you to state if you have reason behind your actions. I would like you to testify to that effect. Your Honor, I'd like to request that witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should be in no way implicit in the witness. I don't know what this is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
He's a friend. He's the best friend.
It looks like Edgeworth was really trying to get the killer all along. That's what it sounds like. But that could still mean that Andrews hired the killer, if he was a hitman. And was pouring herself a glass of juice because of the calling card, or something, of the killer, or something like that. Because he was a bellboy, junk. And that's how he would know where the knife was, too, and stuff.
Anyway.
The court acknowledges the prosecution's request, Miss Andrews, if you please.
Didn't really pour it myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it messy state. John, he was sitting slumped over tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, I thought that he was dead. Didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked over the flower vase.
And then you stabbed him.
Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Man, she has a lot of pots. Okay, let's see.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we got you. We got you, B-word. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Even though that this is what you saw when you discovered the body.
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corderia's dress. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that here was a dead man. Well, you see. I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Your point is?
Miss Andrews. Your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer. No. What?
Looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly light to truth, whatever. The defendant, Mr. Matt, on guard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible, you're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear. He's the one who killed John. But you were the one who refused to testify, and your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
And there is no need for court to continue any further. Matt on guard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses to her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't.
Nervian, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt on guard.
Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time.
What?
The reason is quite simple. The witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth.
The absolute real truth, what I...
Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt on guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe... What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared.
It's
Francesca von Karma.
Ah?
Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another, because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
Then right now Miss Andrews is.
Yesterday she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word no matter what happens. If you do, Matt on guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now and is clinging onto them.
Then what should we do? It's the first time I've ever come across anything like this. Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is not guilty. That is my only priority.
It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill John. Help, please, someone else.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court continues therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
And to do, I'm supposed to say.
Right, I suggest you think this very carefully. Think about what this witness did, and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else could be except this woman crying right here, right?
Come on now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that, but I can't bring myself to do it like this, not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you're really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you're doing what you're... sure what you're doing?
Sure, Mr. Ungard would get an acquittal, but in this place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end?
Be quiet, how dare you? Are you trying to trick me?
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense theory is the truth.
You're wrong. What a shame. I'd hoped things wouldn't come to this, however.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop.
Mr. Edgeworth?
This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop. Please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here.
That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide.
And what will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Andrews.
Secret of a dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please stop. Thank you. If people find out, I'll...
If you're going to say you would choose death, that is no concern of me. Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
However, before you die, I'll put the truth from your still breathing lips, no matter what I have to do. So will you tell the court that yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please, help me. Don't let them kill me. Nothing matters anymore.
So we're going to figure out that it was the hitman.
When I first saw him, I really thought he fainted, honestly. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hall, I made a dash back to Matt's room, and then I stabbed John's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience, and that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume.
Stabbed the body? With a knife? But why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious to pin the blame on a certain person? Certain cowardly man?
What do you mean by all this?
It might take the court a little while to understand, but... this is the truth. The real killer is Matt, the scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time?
So Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, John Cordelia, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with the murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and calmness. And, commence the cross-examination. Yes.
Realized, yes. Yeah, that was when I formulated the plan. Let's make sure. Then I stabbed John's dead body with a knife.
Don't want to concede, but this testimony, it rings with the truth.
Yeah, that's let's see. But you could tell from the state the room was in, there must have been a fight. Are you telling me the truth when you say you did not know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck, but that scarf is part of the German ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up when I went to pour the juice. What is this plan you had? I knew right away that the murderer was Matt. I knew because John, he was going to expose Matt's weakest point to the world. So Matt did this to stop John and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged piece of evidence were the knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. That was so you could get the knife, correct? So was Matt the real cause of the other girl's suicide? Is that what we're going with? Was John going to reveal that he caused that after he talked to Andrews enough? Or something like that? Because she was helping John still. So they must have had, like, some kind of... Yeah, no, it was actually messed up. But I don't know. It would still let him get away with it for years if that was the cause of death. Or if it was because they didn't do something, or I don't know. Knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife and returned it to the scene of the crime. And then I stabbed John's dead body with the knife. So you were the one to stab the victim with a knife. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did, but at the time I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then when I stabbed John's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used this button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. On-Guard's Hakama? Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? An inconvenience. There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hall. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lada. There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. That was Miss Oldbag for you. I'd already been caught and made into a big scoop for the certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out and looking like myself and get caught again. So you were the one who prepared the costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into John's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation of the press conference, correct? Yes, John wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Mac's big secret there.
When what is this big secret?
That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave John's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I think we've heard enough, so after that, you went back to Matt On-Guard's room and planted the button.
Into Matt's Hakama, yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into the bag. And I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word, what does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt On-Guard. Yesterday, that woman, the prosecutor, sat me down for a talk.
Francesca, huh?
She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words.
What this student witness has done is clearly unlawful, however. As long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer.
Wait, Your Honor. The defense still...
Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. Cross-examination of the witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was a culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright.
But...
Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange her for detention immediately.
That is all. Court is adjourned for the day.
Today's trial. It's over. Well then. We do know who the real murderer is, but... We know it was the killer pretty much now, for sure. More or less. But, we didn't have a way to prove it, either. But she wasn't the killer, she just did a crime.
I didn't win an acquittal.
Witness, would you mind if I asked you something?
Edgeworth?
What is it? No. Before you leave the court, I wonder if I might look at one thing. That card in your hand, it's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about it. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. Remember, just now I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
That day? Yes. Found this card when I discovered John's body. It was lying there right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
So wait, the killer did this on purpose, so Miss Andrews didn't hire, obviously. Someone else hired. But, does that mean Matt Ungard hired the killer to kill him? Or something? But anyway. Weird. I don't know. We don't know everything. We know the killer is the one who killed him, and it was a calling card. Suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket, but it's not as if the card has any relevance to John's murder, right?
Yeah, I guess not, but it's a strange card if you ask me. As far as the clues to this case, I don't see why.
Witness that card. Give it to me. Hurry.
Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea what you have stupidly and adversely done? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about?
I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card. What in the world is it? And what does it mean? Do I get to switch to Maya again? She tried to escape. We don't know if she got away. We don't really know where she was. She was just in someone's wine cellar. I thought she might have still been in the hotel, but...
Mystic Maya.
There, Pearls.
I can't take it anymore.
Look, it'll be alright. Everything may still work out. The condition was that we had to get a not guilty verdict, and so far, the kidnapper has kept his word and hasn't hurt Maya. And he won't because Mr. Ungard hasn't been given a guilty sentence yet. Cheer up, we don't have time to stand around crying, we have to get going.
You're right. Mystic Maya's in much more pain than I am.
Yes, that's right, so... Hey, you guys! Glad I caught you, pal.
Mr. Scruffy Detective.
Oh boy, looks like Detective Gumshoe.
has been dubbed Mr. Scruffy Detective in Pearl's book now.
It's just plain old Mr. Dick Gumshoes now. And I came to talk to you, pal.
But we're kinda busy right now. Oh, so he did get fired. Good for him. So, what are you gonna do from now on?
What do you mean, pal?
Well, you've been fired, right? So, do you have a new job lined up?
Oh, that, what am I supposed to do now, pal? I don't have anything coming at all until my next payday.
What are you talking about? You don't have another payday.
I guess that means I'm just gonna have to work here at your place, pal.
Say what?
I'll be searching for things that'll prove Mr. Unguard's innocent all day, right?
Well, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna help you, pal. I got lots of experience investigating and watching other people's places. I'm great at making really simple meals, pal. I'll take care of it all.
Come on, Mr. Nick. Let's let Mr. Scruffy Detective take care of things.
Okay, by the way, what's your best dish?
Instant noodles, pal.
Why am I surrounded by people who only eat cheap, unhealthy foods?
That was the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth act like that. Never thought he would say something like that. He didn't care if Miss Andrews killed herself.
He said that? That's horrible.
And because of him doing that, we got the truth finally. The truth.
Miss Andrews' last testimony, I wonder if that was the truth. I'll give you that there was nothing strange in her testimony itself, but I still think there's something fundamentally wrong with the whole thing.
You mean about that thing, pal?
Why would she want to? No, I mean almost need to frame Mr. Ungard. I couldn't figure that out from anything she said all day.
Then, you're saying that testimony was a lie?
Not a lie, per se. It just feels like there's more here than meets the eye. Well, that's what Edgeworth likes to believe.
That's such a dirty trick. Even that woman prosecutor was better than that.
Franziska von Karma. Speaking of von Karma, do you have any more information on condition? Wasn't she shot this morning?
Miss von Karma was shot today on the way to the trial by Pistol Pal.
But she's going to be fine, right? I mean, Edgeworth said she was in stable condition, but...
Well, she was shot in the shoulder, so she's okay and still hanging in there. We should be done taking the bullet out. She's probably resting at the hospital.
Which one? What are you gonna...
What, are you gonna go visit her, pal?
No. Well, I was kind of thinking about it.
Hey, you actually got a heart, don't you? She looked like she was being tortured to death not being able to go to the trial day. Maybe it'd be good for her to... if you went and let her whip you for a bit, pal.
Let's go let her whip us.
No, I'm definitely not going.
But I'm kinda into that.
No. Don't do that.
Let's see. The name of the hospital. Oh yeah, the Hardy Clinic.
That name sends a chill down my spine. Well, I guess it can't hurt to stop by and say hey.
Have you heard anything from the kidnapper?
No, not yet.
Sure, once he hears what happened at the trial today, he'll call. But remember, you can't provoke him when you get to talk to him.
I mean, it'd be cool if Gumshoe joins us, right? He's pretty cool. Oh, I guess we'll just go to the clinic first. Never thought I'd ever come back to this place.
What? Oh. You here to visit a patient?
Hi. Wait a second, you're...
Yes, Director Hardy.
Why are you still here?
Yes, what is it? Can I help you? You can tell me yes.
Director Hardy.
Edgeworth?
Yes, I'm Director Hardy. You're the man from this morning, yes? What is it?
Director, Franziska. How's Franziska von Karma?
You don't need to worry, she's in good hands, because you see, I'm personally taking good care of her. Yeah. Yes, and that surgery, it went well.
You have my gratitude. It looks like Edgeworth doesn't know about this director and his secret.
You look so pitiful. absolutely terrified, and yes, but I understand, and yes. Her opponent was a gun after all. And when I snuck up on her, real secret, she would scream real loudly, and...
I see.
But she's real cute, too. Yeah, she's like 13, you're being really creepy. She would whip me with a whip. Boy, did I cry like a baby, yes, but I think I could get used to it. She already got her clothes back on?
Go back to your room.
You're so mean. So mean, my frisky princess got... Okay, and yes. Time for my IV drops.
And what are you and those tulips doing in your hands, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
I know I shouldn't have come here.
Oh, I was shot in front of the courthouse in my right shoulder. But it's no big deal. This sort of thing happens all the time. I even had the full intention of running trial this morning.
But that would have been too much for you.
There's no need to act tough in front of us, you know.
Regardless, I was dragged here by that man over there. He was so unyielding, one has to wonder if he was simply interested in stealing my case. It was the only logical course of action given the bullet was still lodged in your shoulder. But by taking over the case, I found myself having clean up after you and that irreversible deal you made.
I think I know what deal he's referring to. Miss Von Karma, you made a deal with Miss Andrews yesterday, didn't you?
I don't know what you mean.
In order to make sure you got your guilty verdict on Mr. Ungard, you told Miss Andrews to not testify in court.
I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have proof that I made such a deal?
You're denying it?
Looks like you were lucky, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If I had been in court today, this trial would have already been over.
Oh, while hiding Miss Andrews' own crime?
That isn't my problem whether she had tampered with evidence or not. I've only one objective, to find Ungard guilty of murder. Then the end justifies the means, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The end justifies the means.
Miss Von Karma, Agent Andrews believed you when you said if you don't tell the truth of what happened, then Ungard will be found guilty.
And what does that have to do with me?
Because of that, she is now in danger of being found guilty herself, all because she believed in your words until the very end.
It still has nothing to do with me. She's just a weak person, that's all.
But you had to know she was.
I was thinking visitor hours here are about over, so if you'll excuse me.
What's wrong? Why did she suddenly cut you off?
Probably because she thinks I had the advantage in that argument. Edgeworth. What happened at today's trial, Edgeworth? That was not like you at all. I mean, I know you knew Miss Andrews' condition. You could have made her testify as many times as you wanted, but to go that far.
But she wouldn't testify about that until I said something. Listen, Wright. The courtroom is a garden of judgment. I'm putting myself on the line when I stand in there. And that's why I made the witness do the same. It's only natural.
By the way, Edgeworth, you were really angry in court today. That's rare for you.
The card? Yeah, we just saw it.
That card. When the world is it?
You mean this? Listen, Wright. This is top secret information. You absolutely cannot leak this. A special investigation team has existed for a number of years, but few know of it.
I understand.
The task is to find the owner of this card, a man called Shelley the Killer. And just as his name implies, it states he is a killer, an assassin, the best at that.
An assassin?
So who is this Shelley the Killer? The Killer is the name of a long-standing line of assassins.
Long-standing?
The name first appeared about 100 years ago, I hear. Shelley is the professional name of the third heir to the Killer name.
So because of his professional name as Shelley, he leaves cards with a shell on them.
He has a habit of making sure to leave a card by the body of his victims.
Why would he do something like that?
We think it's part of the duty to his clients. His duty. If he leaves a card, then his clients can be assured it was he who killed the victim. It also serves as insurance against any charges being pushed onto his clients. So wait. Was Matt the client then? He didn't kill anyone. That's why he wasn't guilty of it. But he did seem to know about the killer. The killer values the trust between his clients and himself above all else. It seems that this is one honorable assassin with a moral conscience. I guess that even honorable assassins can exist. Do you think this assassin, you think he's the one who did the killing in the case? Would appear that way. Discovery of this card basically confirms it, wouldn't you agree? Shelley the killer, huh? Well, time to tell him. I noticed something at today's court. You are behaving in a very strange manner. Is something the matter? I guess I should just tell him. Maya, she's been kidnapped. Kidnapped? What does the kidnapper want? An acquittal. I see. I had no idea. I'll prepare a rescue team as soon as possible and resolve this by tomorrow.
Really? You hear that, Mr. Nick? Mr. Edgeworth is going to...
Stop trying to console me, Edgeworth. I don't need your pity.
Mr. Nick?
There's no way you can find her. We don't have even a single lead to go on. There's only one way to save her. I have to get an acquittal somehow. It's the only way. Right, listen. You need to know something. Don Correa was killed by Shelley the killer, and the client who ordered the job is Matt on guard, your own client. Please stop. I can't listen to you. I can't believe that. See, well, if you want to continue an investigation, you'll need this.
What is it?
The hotel right now is restricted to police personnel only. We're looking for clues that might lead us to Shelley the killer. But if you take this with you to the hotel, I'm sure they will let you enter. In any case, I must attend with preparations for Maya's rescue team. Meet again if anything should happen. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Mr. Nick? Do you think Mr. Ungard hired an assassin?
No way! I mean, he doesn't have a psychic lock.
Yeah, I guess not.
Maya, please, all I ask is you make it home safe. Meanwhile, Maya, I guess.
Guess even kidnappers can be a little clumsy. Clumsy enough to drop a card like this for me. Even though he said he was an assassin, I bet he's just making that up. Like how...
Oh, brother? No, don't, he's really an assassin. Trust me.
Like how Nick does with everything in court.
Yeah, Nick makes up everything.
Anyway, let's try out this card trick and see if I can... Oh yeah. Sounds like I got the door open. Okay, time to go look around.
Okay, that's the same stuff she said before. Oh, we're in his home.
What is this place? I've got a feeling I'm not in the hotel anymore. Are those videos over there? Well, I worry about that later. For now, I should be looking for clues. This way I can show them to Sis and maybe get out of here. What is this thing? An antenna, I guess? And this is a VCR? There sure are a lot of electrical gadgets here. What was an antenna doing here?
VHS tape still existed back then.
Wow, I've never seen a TV this big before. Now where's the power button? Phooey, it's busted. I would so die for a Happy Samurai fan if I ever got to see the Nickel Samurai on TV like this. I can't believe I just made a joke about dying, all things considered. Oh, hey, it's a computer. I've never really used one before. I have no idea where the power switch is on this thing. Drat. It's my plan to use this to somehow get out of here.
Oh.
This opens up a few questions. Several questions are made here. That's definitely this chick. It's definitely a picture of her. So was the killer for some reason dating her, and she killed herself because of the killer? Or was she assassinated? Or... I don't know. It's all weird. Framed picture sitting on the coffee table. It's a picture of a woman. She's kind of pretty. Looks like there's something written here. Let's see. I think it says, with love. So I bet this could be a clue.
It's definitely a clue.
That's weird. What's this figure doing on a sofa in a place like this? I think it's a bear. Aw, how cute. But it's got a lot of cuts and slits on it. Wonder if it's some kind of puzzle or something. It's so dark in here that I can barely see, but these kind of feel like videotapes, all of them. So what kind of room is this? Locked, of course. It doesn't look like I can use this card to open this door. There's a little hole at the bottom of the door. If only I was a little skinnier, then maybe I'd be able to crawl through here.
Oh, this simply cannot do. I cannot have you wandering around at will. It seems that your Mr. Wright is truly concerned about you.
He is?
For now, I would suggest that you remain cooperative. If you cannot, there are ways in which I can help you.
What ways, you mean?
Dead men tell no tales, is how the saying goes, correct?
Dead?
I am almost certain I told you on our first meeting I am an assassin.
No way, you're lying. I mean, an assassin.
People are not always who they appear to be.
Mr. Nick?
Huh? Oh yes, bros? Got caught up in my thoughts about my situation.
Mr. Edgeworth has left, you know.
I guess for now I have no choice but to believe in God. But I think I should listen to this story one more time. So wait.
It sounded like he knew about the killer. But, I don't know.
I don't know. Alright, let's get going too.
Okay.
Back to criminal affairs we go.
Wow, everybody looks really busy with something or another.
They're probably strengthening evidence for tomorrow's trial. Hurry up with that. You passed the victims list. You gotta be kidding. There's 100 people on this.
Mr. Nick? Is Mr. Ungard really that big of a... big bad of a criminal?
Actually, pals, never mind. It sounds like they're working on a different case. Sorry, readings hours are over today. I have too many questions I need to ask. I'm sorry, but I'm Phoenix Wright, a lawyer for one of the...
Oh, Mr. Wright, you say? Oh yeah, there's a message here for you.
Message?
From Matt on guard. Here you are.
What do you write? Is it something really important?
I don't know. Well, let's see what it says. Mr. Lawyer Dude, I've got something really important to tell you. Why do I feel uneasy all of a sudden?
Mr. Wright, so actually, I have a favor to ask you. I have this cat named Shu. I didn't put out a lot of food when I left the house, so he's probably pretty hungry. You think you could go drop by my house and feed Shu, my dude? My house is just a little ways down from the hotel, alright?
This is terrible.
This is terrible. Let's hurry. We have to feed his cat. I'm sure poor Shu's stomach is growling by now.
Yeah, I guess. Find request as a quest. I guess I should go check up on his cat. Or in other words, snoop through his house and see if he killed someone. Or did he steal the suicide note? And it's all a twist.
I don't know how to get around anyway.
Alright, Mr. Nick, let's go look for clues. We have to for Mr. Maya's sake.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Ah, Miss Old Bag. Don't devalue my name and turn it into a gas, you spiky-head pitiful. Because of you, I've been made to look like a bad guy again. All I did, piece of gum on for my edgy boy, just promise, but it's some... What? Edgy Bruce hard, it was all me. What?
Miss Holdbag.
Keep your hands off me. His helmet is airtight, no ass gets in, no air gets out.
Then why do you keep putting it on?
Don't think you can get a move with me.
Silly questions. Wait, what? So you're suffocating right now. Maybe I might show her this letter I got from Edgeworth. Miss Oldbag, if you would look at this.
What, you want me to look at this worthless piece of... edgy blue?
Nah, is that a perfume? From a smell I smell? Shut up.
Let's see here. Would you please allow this unsophisticated young person to conduct his investigation? Yours truly, Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah, yours truly.
That man's good at flattery. Fine, but only because Edgy Poo said so, you understand?
What?
I just thought of something I have to do. Remember, no messing around. The only thing bad, and I'll let you off the hook.
It looks like she has strong feelings for Mr. Edgeworth.
That may be, but, you know, nothing is going to come of it.
That's so mean, Mr. Nick. Feelings are meant to be told, not shared.
Ow. Every time we talk about love, I always end up with a handprint on my face somehow. So anyway, let's continue our investigation.
Okay.
What? What now?
One little thing before I forget. You can't go into Edgeworth and God's room today.
Why?
I believe...
The police investigation team is going to be in there all day, you hear?
I wonder if they're the team in charge of investigating the killer.
Don't go in there. Set one foot in there, you'll face the wrath of one you old back.
Was that sign there before? Press conference. Nothing important. Power's still here for some reason. Looks like we're the only ones here.
And yet the hotel seems so busy and somehow.
Well, because the police team is scouring for clues about the killer. I mean, we wanted to go into John's room anyway.
I see, Bo.
Ah, Lada, you're still here. How?
Wrecking course. Investigation photographer eats and starves of her ability to snap a scoop, yeah? This hotel just has the aura of mystery. You know, something like... like something's always about to happen. But, do you have your camera? Right, given. Photographer's gotta have a camera out the ear like corn to be a real pro, you know? So I'm hanging around here. Speaking of cameras and feeding mouth, do you have mine? You beer thief?
Why can't you drop the thief thing already? I can't give it to her. Oh, we saw that guy had...
Mr. Nick, what's that flower called?
It's a sunflower, I think.
It's a flower... The last flower over here is pretty...
That's a tulip, I guess.
How on everything a sunflower or tulip, don't reckon even little kids fall for that. Ah, lovely. The teddy bear looks happy to be surrounded by so many beautiful flowers.
Well, this really seems to like teddy bears a lot. I wonder if Lada also...
I didn't touch him, wasn't me, I tell you.
Alright, we get them to Lada help herself to one of them, yeah. We already heard that part before. Well, we want to go into court area. John's room, whatever.
We saw that that dude had bears, so does that mean he sent the bears? I don't know who that is.
What in the other world? The ghastly moaning. Ooh.
I hate evil ghosts.
I don't think it's a ghost. Maybe a demon? Excuse me. Watch what you're calling a demon. Zoinks! It's the alien! Who are you calling an alien?
Why does she keep following us?
Oh, it's just you, Mr. Old Bag. What are you doing here? What's wrong with you youngins today? I came down here to pay my respects to my Lord John, and you're disturbing me.
That's the bed.
Yeah.
We did that part already.
Looks like Mr. Dinner, bottle of tomato juice.
The Nickel Samurai costume was in here.
Yeah.
I can't believe Mr. Cordier went so far just to say bad things about Mr. Engard.
Well, it was a press conference, so he had to go in costume.
But weren't Mr. Engard and Cordier friends?
They weren't friends. They weren't friends. They couldn't be friends because they were rivals.
So a rival is someone who is a stronger enemy?
Alice is really fired up over this. I don't have an answer for her. It's a beautiful wine glass, and there's tomato juice in it.
Yeah, the tomato juice, I don't really like it that much.
I already went over that part. I thought there would be something with the teddy bears here.
Oh, there's a lot of bears.
Long talk ones, collector's editions, stuffed teddies, plastic models. Pretty overwhelming. What kind of bear doesn't have?
Yeah, a few in the trash can.
Yeah, we got that part. Please talk to me about the night of the murder, just one more time. I talked about it plenty at the trial. I was fooled, tricked, deceived by that fraud of a photographer and a note. She was loitering around here with that imbecile look on her face.
And that imbecile look on her face? Okay, I got it.
Now, hold on a second, you little pipsqueak. You're gonna take notes, at least makes me sound better than that.
Oh, alright.
I've seen everything. But, you know, I was working that night too, doing my job, minding my own business. So it's not like I had some time to waste standing around here the whole night. I was wondering if you could tell me a bit more about Mr. Cordoria. He was the most popular star, you know, especially where it counts in my book. But I heard that he was lagging behind in the polls against Mr. Engard. Well, that's just a recent thing, bad luck that, and all that, you know. But he was going to become an even bigger star than he used to be. Look, just look at the mountain of presents. To show the mountain of feelings of all his fans had for him. Yeah, the mountain is pretty big, and certainly nothing to stick at.
Mr. Nick?
What is it, Pearls?
The presents, they're all bears, right?
He's got a point. There isn't a single thing here that isn't a bear. All Mr. Cornelius' presents to his fans seem to be bears. Oh, that's because you can't think of Jean without thinking about bears.
Bears? Why bears?
You don't know? When my dear Jean was training, he fought bare-handed with a bear. He refused to give in, let the bear win. But after the fight, they became friends.
Wow, what a heartwarming story.
Look, it's just like in those young people's dramas. I can see, those two tuck it out. Down by a river going, haha, you sure can fight. You too, bud. You too. Did that really happen? It's all in his biography, bud. What a lower crock. So ever since then, fans have been giving him bears as presents. Yeah, nice, spares.
What can I show her? That might be something better. Just in case.
Made the same joke again.
All sorts of things in the refrigerator, tomato juice, all that stuff. Looks like we got everything we can in there for now.
I want to ask you about the night of the murder.
Wow, you really gonna shell out the bucks for the info I got?
Well, you were loitering in this hallway the night of the murder, were you not?
Well, yeah, kinda, but...
Brace yourself, Phoenix. Here it comes.
I didn't exactly hang around here for the entire time, you know. Followed a few stars around. Got a few autographs, shook a few hands, had a soda pop with a few of them too.
Looks like she wasn't here the entire time that night.
The security lady also wasn't in this hallway the whole time either.
Well, I guess that means there's no one who can tell us who came and went that night. So about the note that was inside your camera case.
Oh, then did you wrote?
Yeah, can I believe what you've written?
You mean that stuff on Gone showing this manager lady onto Corderia?
Yeah.
Well, I reckon you best not believe that.
What?
Look, I saw her wrote that on a whim, you know? Writing whatever came to mind. Whatever came to mind? Yeah, you get down to it, it's just a lot of random bold.
What?
Hey, what's with you? Staring at me like that, Grandpa, still. Hey, why do you look like you suddenly got older too, or am I just shrinking you? What? Oh, my baby, What's with the red code prosecutor anyhow? The guy told me it was evidence and refused to give it back to me.
Well, that's kind of how it is.
Hey, you're that red coat's friend, ain't ya? I put in a few good words for me and get back my camera.
You want me to do what?
Listen, nag the guy real good about 5 hours and I guarantee you'll give it back.
Why don't you do your own dirty work?
Well, I reckon it's time for me to get going. Tabloid photographer.
Yeah, I guess so.
You keep in there, I'll keep up the good work too. Okay. Don't be picky about food now. Okay. Make sure you do all your homework here. Okay. If you happen to find yourself a camera, make sure you bring it right to me.
Would you please just leave already?
Did we need her to leave?
You must alright from all your grateful clients. Yeah, that didn't happen. Piece of paper that says, in that room. You can't go inside without Detective Gumshoe. Usually you can tell pretty easily if there's anything to...
I want to eat a meal with Mystic Maya again.
Yeah, me too.
Whenever I watch Mystic Maya eat like she does, it makes me happy about eating, and then I can eat a lot.
Well, then, how about after we wrap up this case, we all go out for a huge 20-course feast?
Okay, let's work really hard then.
Sure. Am I like your guardian now? Does anyone take care of you, kid? Your mother went to jail. Oh yeah, let's go to his house. I guess they'll allow us now. Maybe we had to look at that stuff first. Sure is dark. Be like a serial killer's room. Oh,
I'll go turn on the light.
there's blood everywhere now. He has the samurai heads on. It's pretty dead, like he doesn't come here often. Wow. This is what a star's house looks like. Must be rich.
Come on, Mr. X, let's find a shoe. The kitty, shoe.
So I guess this is Shu.
Oh, what a lovely cat. Hello, shoe.
Cat seems to like pearls. Do we not realize this is the killer? May I help you with something, mister? Oh, we're lawyers, actually. I'm Mr. Unguard's lawyer. In the Masters. Then you must be Mr. Wright. Yes. You look a lot like this other guy I just saw that had the same exact face, but was wearing different clothes. You're probably someone else. Hey, is that Maya screaming against that door? No.
Oh my god.
The door hole was for the cat to come in and out. No, it's a pleasure to meet your wonderful self. I'm the family butler, John Doe. Nice to meet you. Hey, you know what this is? I was just curious. For some reason, I have a feeling we met before, like he's the killer or something. Why would they even do that? What do you happen to know this person is? If he was a butler, he would know who that person is. You must know all sorts of things about Mr. Unguard, right? Honestly, sir, I do believe my master. I do believe my master's. What am I doing? What voice am I doing? What was the one I just used like 5 seconds ago? Honestly, sir, I do believe my master. No, I need something else. What did I just have?
Honestly, sir, I do believe my master is capable of such foul deed as murder.
And, anything else?
No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of their master's affairs.
Oh, typical butler-like. Mr. Doe, how long have you served at this residence?
Well, sir, I would say maybe about 1 year.
And, anything else?
No, not especially. It is not appropriate for ladies.
That's a very cute cat you got there.
It is my duty to take care of him. The master, rather, fancies Shu.
And, anything else?
No, not especially.
Well, then I guess I don't need this scrap of paper anymore.
Well, I'm afraid I must take my leave. You know?
No, we should probably get going ourselves.
Ah, so young and yet already so accomplished, a master of law.
But there's also a lot to be proud of, being a butler. In charge of the house and all.
Thank you for your compliments, sir. People are not always who they appear to be. Now, if you excuse me. There's a small door at the bottom of the bigger door, Mr. Nick.
I bet it's for Mr. Unguard's cat to use.
Oh, you mean Shu?
The door. It's locked.
Well, I guess that's to keep nosy people like me from entering it. Oh well.
Ah, there are masks here.
Yeah, that one in the middle is the Steel Samurai. One's next to the Pink Princess and Evil Magistrate. Fought many battles against the backdrop of Neo-Only Tokyo.
Wow, you really need to know a lot about the Steel Samurai, Nick.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I know more about that show than a kid. There's another door over there.
You shouldn't go wandering off over there, Mr. Nick.
Yes, Sparrows. Now I know how Maya feels when I tell her to stop playing around.
A giant bicycle is flying through the air.
A bicycle, Pearls, is one where you don't have to pedal and it moves on its own.
Really? Wow.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, it can't fly.
Oh, that's too bad. Oh, there's a giant cooking hearth here.
That's actually a fireplace.
How are they different, Mr. Nick?
You know, I've never actually seen a hearth before, come to think of it.
You should come visit Fate Manor, then I'll show you one when you do.
No, I looked at the fireplace only. I wanted to look at the picture. It's a very comfortable and spacious lounge set. I wonder if the famous stars drop by and sit around and have a good time. So, did the killer disguise as butler so he could frame on guard for kidnapping Maya instead? So he could try and get away with it now? Or what? There's a lot of uncertainties, but it sounded like the killer and On Guard knew each other, but I don't know. In any case, I don't really belong here, do I? What is it with me feeling inferior today? Probably because you're stupid enough to believe that person was not the actual person. Can we go save Maya, or... No, I guess not. Doesn't matter. Maya's dead. We caused it ourselves. Oh yeah, do you know about this card?
Guard.
Edgeworth for some reason went pale the instant he saw this card.
Hey, I know that is, pal.
You know?
No matter what way you look at it, I'd say it's a picture of a shell.
That it?
Oh yeah, that's right. Mr. Edgeworth really likes these cooked snail things. What are they called again? Escargot or something like that.
Mr. Nick, I think we just solved the mystery of why Edgeworth's face turned pale, right?
As I suspected, Gumshoe has no clue. Yeah. But we know it's him. Don't let me use that. Nothing criminal affairs. So does that mean I still just have to check here?
I'm Uncle Bear, and I say it's barely 8 o'clock.
What is that infernal racket?
It's one of the presents going off. Sounds like it's already 8 p.m., way past your bedtime.
That startled me. I thought I was going to die for a second.
8 p.m.? That's the time when the award ceremony ended that night, remember?
Time sure flies. Hard to believe it's been 2 days since the ceremony. Transceiver. Hello? Hello?
This is not a this is not a phone.
Maya, how's Maya? You haven't heard her, have you?
It seems you're not able to fulfill your end of the bargain, Mr. Attorney. I've heard the news, so it would seem my present did you no good.
No, Mystic Maya.
One more day, please. I want to ask you for one more day. A guilty not guilty verdict for sure this time, please.
I suppose if I must. I need that acquittal more than anything else, after all.
Please let Maya say something. I want to hear she's alright.
Alright. A little...
Was all static all of a sudden. Hello?
It seems... bad. Connect.
Darn it, did a transceiver suddenly break?
Excuse me.
What was that about?
I don't know, all of a sudden it became nothing but static.
Mystic Maya.
Why did the transceiver suddenly break like that? Should probably have an electronics expert look at it. Sooner the better. Electronics expert.
How about I tell you my measurements? No. Who do we know that's an electronics expert? Is Gumshoe considered an electronics expert?
Hey, welcome back, pal. Thought I'd make you a little something for dinner.
That's nice, thanks.
Rich man's luxurious full-course meal, out of a can, that is.
I'm sorry you went through all the trouble to cook, but I don't have time to eat.
Oops, looks like you don't have a can opener, pal.
You gotta be kidding. And here I thought, you whipped something up.
Oh, I know. There's one way I know to be helpful. Ask me about anything you want, pal. Go ahead.
Now, since he's here offering, I wonder what I should try asking about.
Transceiver.
Oh, Mr. Nick, you should ask Mr. Scruffy about that thing.
What thing?
Oh yeah, this thing just up and broke all of a sudden.
It broke, pal?
When I was talking to the kidnapper, it just suddenly broke into static. Look, it sounded like this.
I don't hear any static, pal.
Huh?
Maybe it fixed itself.
That's strange. I'm sure it was making a loud static noise.
Maybe.
Maybe what?
Maybe it was electromagnetic interference, pal.
Electromagnetic interference? So what is electromagnetic interference?
It's something that happens when a radio wave gets mixed up with another signal, pal.
Oh, when you put it that way.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Like for example, when a cell phone goes off next to a computer screen, stuff on the screen gets kind of fuzzy and starts acting funny, right?
Computer? Oh, it's like when you use...
It's like when you use the dryer next to the TV and the screen starts looking weird.
Yes, the TV does that. That's what you're talking about.
He seems amazingly happy about being able to understand this.
So, the room you were in when the interference transceiver happened, there's gotta be something there that's sending out very strong radio waves, pal. Something like that, like a listening device or something. Hey, speaking of that, where were you when that happened?
We were in Mr. Corderia's room, the scene of the murder.
Well, what? That's it, I'm gonna sneak into the precinct and get a bug sweeper. I'll meet you at the crime scene later. Alright, pal?
Wait, Gumshoe.
Oh yeah, buddy, it's investigating time. I'm on fire, pal. My fingers are itching to go. Yeah.
We should get going too, Mr. Nick.
Alright, let's go. Get to move everywhere.
Hey! You're finally here, pal.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Snake.
You have the, bug sweeper?
No, well, you see, I got busted trying to sneak in, and suddenly I'm staring at the precinct doors. From the outside, I mean. So yeah, I couldn't get one of the police bug sweepers.
What do you mean you couldn't get one? We need that item.
Hey, calm down, pal. Didn't say I didn't get one, just not the police's.
Wow, so this is a bug sweeper.
Looks a little broken.
It was made when I was in elementary school, pal. Oh, by who?
Me, of course. Seeing this sure brings back memories. Hey, don't look down on me, pal. Sure, it looks a little beat up. But I put my heart and soul into building this puppy right here.
Alright, and so?
It'll work, trust me, pal. I'm due to the job, but...
But?
Well, you can't set the sensitivity, so it's going to beep at anything that gives off electromagnetic waves.
Isn't it better that way?
Ho 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 ho. Well, anyway. Since I brought it all the way here, might as well give it a whirl, right?
I'm getting sinking feeling again.
Okay, I'll tell you how to use this baby. There's a listening device or something, some sort of bug hidden in this room, pal.
So we're going to find it, right?
Right now, first let's turn on the sweeping device. Next, move the sweeper around the room real thorough, like looky, see, pal. Sweeper will let you know how strong the signal it's picking up, so keep an eye out, okay? Once you find something that's giving off a lot of radio waves, press the A button to lock onto it. There's a lot of things here, so that's going to give off... There's a lot of things here that's going to give off radio waves. Let's take a good look at anything and everything that seems suspicious, okay, pal? Alright, I'm gonna stand outside and keep an eye out. Give me a yell if you find a bug, got it?
What a lovely bear.
This must be one of those fancy bear-shaped toy robots.
It's a robot? A real robot?
Yeah, it's a real one.
Mr. Nick,
Yes?
how many horsepowers is it? How many horsies?
Horsies? Well, look, it's a bear, so... Lamp, check. Listening device, nope.
There are a lot of lamps in this room, aren't there, Nick?
Yeah.
They're all on. Shouldn't do that, Nick. Don't you know that's wasteful?
Yeah, I'll be more considerate, cautious for... Yeah. Not in the tomato juice.
That's this. So it looks like a hot water pot, but...
Oh, well. It's kind of like a hot water pot, I guess. But instead of hot water, coffee comes out.
Really? This pot can do that? Is there a pot that orange juice comes out of?
I don't think there's anything like that, Pearls. Sorry. Well, it certainly looks like an alarm clock.
What's wrong? Do you look troubled?
I just can't imagine the listening device being inside this alarm clock. Just sort of remind me of something that happened a long time ago.
Oh.
Well, anyways, it looks like the listening device isn't here.
Sure, it was gonna be one of the bears.
Plain old calculator.
It says 50 on it. Maybe he's calculating his allowance.
Well, 50 cents, maybe if he was spirit media.
Wow, there's really just such loaf of bread in here.
Looks like it's been on keep warm all this time since the murder.
You know, it's a scruffy detective always says, gotta keep the trial and crime scene warm.
Think that keep warm. That case is a little more metaphor. Well, listening device is in the air conditioner.
Ah, yuck. The air filter is covered in dust and dirt.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Nick, let's wash it.
Wonder if being neat fresh makes even the teeniest dust bunny looks colossal.
What?
Nothing. Well, the phone is the most common place for a listening device, I say, but let's take the receiver part first, and we get ahead of ourselves here.
Wow, you know a lot about electronics, don't you, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, I know tons, especially when it comes to taking them apart. It's my specialty. I'll leave the fixing part to Gumshoe.
So, is there a listening device in it?
No, I really thought it had been in the phone too. Cell phone. Nope, no bugs in here.
A cell phone?
What? Don't tell me you don't know what a cell phone is.
I'm sorry, I've never seen one before.
Now that she mentions it, my cell phone couldn't get any reception while I was staying in Kern Village. Bells has never lived outside of that village, so... Well, I guess I can't say it's impossible to live without one.
There's a radio playing something. Oh, it's Kid's Question Corner.
Professor, why is the Earth round?
Yes, why is it, Mr. Nick?
Why don't you listen to the radio program a little more, bros? I guess it's good to just check everything? Question mark?
What's this?
It's a small video camera. No listening device in this gizmo.
Everyone's trying to make everything smaller and smaller lately, aren't they, Mr. Nick?
That's what it seems like.
But I want to grow bigger and bigger.
Well, eating only vegetables isn't going to help you there. You have to eat meat too. Ooh, Phoenix Wright dissing vegetarians. No listening device in the notebook computer, huh?
What's the notebook computer?
Do you know what a notebook is?
Yes, it's a small book with a paper that you can write on, so...
Well, this thing is like a notebook in a way. Basically, it's a small laptop.
Mr. Nick, what's a laptop?
Oh boy. It doesn't tell me if I checked it already, though. Dryer, nothing unusual.
A dryer? Oh, if you use it next to the TV, it'll make the screen look all weird, right?
Yeah.
And when that happens, call it electronic interference, right?
Hey, good memory, Pearls.
I'll never forget it for the rest of my life.
They're not letting me look at anything else there.
Oh, the water is hot. Water pot ran out. I'll get more water for it.
Okay, sounds good. Looks like she's forgotten all about looking for the listening device.
This is a refrigerator, right?
I really don't think the listening device is in something like this.
Because it's filled with nothing but healthy vegetable juices, right?
Yeah, sure. What does that have to do with listening devices? Ah. Big Bear. I thought I looked over that.
This is a giant stuffed teddy bear, right? The biggest one I've ever seen.
Hey, did you guys find it yet, the listening device? I mean...
No, not yet. This bear's eye is...
Let's see. Perfectly normal and stuffed bear with some really strong radio waves. Sounds like you found the device to me, pal. Let's dig a fella's eye out and see what it's got.
No, you can't. Such violent death.
Huh?
Oh. Rip out its eye. That's...
It's a miniature camera. It looks like there's more. There's a transmitter and a timer. A transmitter, pal.
Oh, is this more of that high-tech stuff?
So this teeny thing is a camera.
Yep. It's a pinhole CCD camera, pal. It's small, high-grade video camera mostly used in security systems.
So it's a video camera.
It runs on a battery which comes with it in a set.
But there's no videotape in this camera.
It's the only camera part here, pal. Tape recorder with the tape inside is somewhere else.
Somewhere else?
The footage is changed into radio waves and then it's sent to the recorder.
So, it's sort of like a TV broadcast, isn't it?
Hey, you know, you're right.
To record the victim's room from 8 p.m. for 1 hour was running at the time of the murder. Does he rewatch his murders? So, what's a transmitter?
It's a device that sends footage to the camera took to a specific destination. It's like a video version of a listening device, pal.
It looks like it's attached to a small clock-like thing.
Oh, that's the timer, pal. You can set it up to turn the camera on and record it at a certain time with it.
You can set it for a certain time?
Yep, let's see. This looks like it was set to start at 8 p.m. and go for 1 hour.
8 p.m. That was the time the award ceremony ended.
There's no date, so it's been recording every night, I guess.
Mr. Detective, how long has that bear been here?
I'm pretty sure it's been here since the night of the murder.
Then maybe...
Maybe this camera caught the murder on tape.
What?
And if you think about the angle the bear's at, it's bound to have had a clear shot of the whole crime, pal.
So, there was a camera in this bear's eye.
And it was disguised as a present.
I'm sure it was here on the night of the murder, pal. Pretty big, so it stands out pretty well in my mind.
But who gave Mr. Cordelia this present?
I don't know, pal. But this means that someone out there has got a video of what happened here that night.
So, isn't there any way we can find out who that person is?
It's impossible, pal. Radio waves can be sent almost anywhere, so there's no real way to find out.
Oh.
Is there really no way to find out?
I got it.
What?
Hey, pal. Let me borrow this miniature camera for a bit.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to go around to the electronics shops and see if I can find out who bought this.
But that's impossible. I mean, it's already 9 p.m.
Leave it to me. Even if it's to search all night, I'll find your man, pal.
Detective Gumshoe's at least always, adamant.
I'm on fire, pal. My fingers are itching to go. Yeah.
He's really revved up.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Mr. Scruffy Detective sure is a nice man. He's pushing himself so hard, all for Mystic Maya's sake.
I don't know. I'm gonna assume it's Edgeworth, but I don't know.
You'll have to excuse me, I heard your conversation just now.
Edgeworth? What are you doing here?
Rescue team has been created and deployed. I can't say I'm optimistic, but we have to move forward one step at a time.
I see, thanks.
Don't thank me yet, we still have to find her. So, there was a spy camera hidden inside the stuffed animal, huh? You are one lucky man, right? You know the stuffed bear, little girl?
I have no idea.
Of course not. The maker of this bear is a very expensive luxury brand from overseas. It's completely handmade. Only a small number of these are exported here.
What?
The camera and transmitter that Scatterbrain Detective took with him are dead ends.
Things like those can be bought anywhere, however, this bear is different. By tracking how it got into this country, this bear can tell us who the buyer is.
Can I really do that, Mr. Nick, can he?
Well, I guess so.
It's 9 p.m. I think I can still make it in time. I'll be taking this for now. I'm sure you have other things you have to do. Snatched up by Edgeworth. See you soon, Wright?
What? Wait!
What?
Why are you doing this?
I've no interest in explaining myself to someone who cannot comprehend. Besides that, Wright, till court reconvenes tomorrow, you should concern yourself with this question. Who was the person that murdered John Cordelia?
The real killer.
You really still think it was Andrews?
To be honest, I don't know anymore.
You still have a little time left. Find the truth, Wright. Everything begins with the truth.
What are you talking about? We already know it was the assassin. John's real killer, Miss Andrews, passed.
A kidnapper whose sole condition is an acquittal for them is on guard.
And this card, Shelley the killer.
We already know the killer killed him. They pretty much confirmed it.
Maya, the only way I can save you now is to find all the answers to this case tonight. I don't understand what your real intentions are, Anga Edgeworth. But as you said, all I can do now is find the truth. Yada, yada. I never went to get water. But I'm still alive, so it's okay.
Would you like to save?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Save it a little bit.
So are we actually gonna be, like, nighttime?
Looks like it's still daylight out.
Shouldn't they change that?
It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth's already found Mr. Kamaya.
These things take time. I'd say probably not. Police are professional, Sparrows. They'll find us, so don't worry. We can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, and everything will be okay.
You're right.
So the real person who killed Mr. Cordelia was...
Assassin, Mr. Shelley D. Killer, right?
And the card Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired the killer to begin with? Who was his client?
You mean who asked for the murder?
That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood. But whoever this client is, they're still a killer.
So, who could have hired the assassin? You think it was Miss Andrews?
I wonder. But if she was the client, then why go through all the effort to stab it to the corpse herself?
If Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then no, it can't be.
Man on guard himself.
If Man on Guard really did hire the assassin,
Then he is not innocent at all, far from it. He would be guilty of the crime.
it can't be Mr. On Guard, right? I mean, when we first talked to him.
I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. John Cordelia? Actually, that reminds me.
Did you remember something, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, something about Miss Andrews said at the terrace. She said something interesting.
Was something interesting.
That's right. You didn't hear it, did you, Pearls?
And bet everything on the Jamming Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. Secret so powerful that would destroy Matt's acting career.
Mr. On Guard's secret? What is this secret?
I don't know yet, but for now, let's think about it this way, Mr.
Cordelia was going to reveal the secret. That means that On God had plenty of motive to have Mr. Cordelia silenced. Which means we have to meet with Mr. Ungod. There's no way around it now.
Ah, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, it's past 9 p.m. already. We still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. There's still the matter of the secret Mr. Cordelia held about Mr. Ungod. Miss Andrews' real intentions. These two things I must know tonight.
Alright, visiting hours over at the detention center?
I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. Hey, wait. What is it, whippersnappers? All I know is nothing.
That has nothing to do with... that she doesn't like him.
I was just in this strange device for who knows what reason, and I was told to use it to search the whole hotel. That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe was made? I don't know, and frankly I don't care. But the request came from Edgy Poo, and so... Edgeworth? He said... If you feel angry, direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer. So I'm going to feel free to direct all my anger towards you. Gee, thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. It's absolute top secret, you better keep it to yourselves. I heard that they found a spy camera hidden in one of the prisons. Ah, very interesting. I'm sure it was you know. It was a catch poor John in the middle of a scandalous meeting.
Scandalous, what do you mean?
It means, well, you know the gossip around going about my Giordano. Oh, you mean the thing about Miss Andrews, but I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Cordelia. Now that you in on another secret, young'un, I know who planted that camera. It was obviously that puffy-haired photographer girl. Spying on people by herself. Yeah, I don't... Wow, the internet actually admitted her true intentions for a change. I don't know what you're thinking about, but it's nothing good. I didn't say anything.
John, the manager, right?
Actually, as I hear it, there was something of a refreshing pair those two. Oh? I'll tell you, John really welcomed that manager with open arms.
That manager? Who are you talking about?
You don't know, the manager woman John had. A shame she killed herself, though. Oh, you're talking about Celeste Park, Miss Andrews' mentor, right? Yes, that's the one. That Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know. Married? You mean to Mr. Cordelia? Really, you young kids today don't know anything, do you? Girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after the marriage announcement. 3 days after the marriage announcement? What in the...
Why would Miss Park want to kill herself? She was gonna get married.
Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by John. What? But
they were gonna get married, right? They promised each other, right?
they held again an announcement session, but 3 days later, John suddenly canceled their marriage. Is that true? It was in the magazines.
But why? Why did you do that?
That was not in the magazines, unfortunately. I see. That night after John called off the wedding, that manager Celeste killed herself. How terrible. Huh.
I wonder what happened between those two.
So did the killer kill this guy for a personal reason? Or was it something weird? Well, that helped us figure out more, I guess.
That night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. I guess the police are done with their questioning, investigating. Looks like things here at the lobby have finally calmed down.
It feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, it does. Wonder if something happened.
Mr. Ungod's lawyer, right?
Ah, yes, sir.
Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. Real decisive witness. Decisive witness? You mean from God's case? We're taking the witness statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth. What's Edgeworth up to now?
Who's this witness?
I think you know the person quite well, Mr. Lawyer.
Mr. Nick?
Oh, what did Maya go there?
Well, I didn't think she would get let out, but I don't know.
Between the kidnapper's demand and now this, I can't see any way to win here.
Oh yeah. Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something.
He did?
Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission, so there you go.
What?
I already called them, so they know. I talked to your heart's content.
It's such good news, Nick.
Go talk to your heart's content. Sounds like the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag.
Well, since he did have Maya kidnapped in his room, I don't know what that says about him, but we'll see if Phoenix got his first case that he's gonna lose. I'm sure there must have been transferred Miss Andrews here by now. That means that both On Guard and Miss Andrews are in the detention center. Whose story do I want to hear? Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to be visiting at such a late hour. There are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was Matt. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can be clueless about the secret Miss Cordelia had, and Mr. On Guard. I'd like to ask you about Matt On Guard, if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? Real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. On Guard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? Why did you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case, nothing. You didn't tell me. About Celeste Hawk. Finally put her death behind me. Now thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. And it's true that when I heard the rumor that John was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back and burn it.
You wanted to burn it? Why?
I didn't want it to spread just like another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent towards John. Never do something so stupid.
The suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why did you try to frame Matt on Mr. On Guard?
That's simple, because he's a killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? But there had to be another way.
The police are excellently at doing their job, so they'd figure it out, right?
Yes, they're good. That they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celesta's death. Yes, and she is.
Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without reason, so please, tell me, why did you do it?
Revenge. Did you just say something just now?
Psychic lock, huh?
Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer, to be honest. You're more like my enemy.
I'm sure I heard Miss Andrews say revenge.
So, do I have to, like, leave and come back to switch them? I need more evidence, I think. Oh.
Mr. Powers?
What happened? Why are you here?
You see, I got roped into this somehow.
What?
And now I'm going to testify at tomorrow's trial. The decisive witness is Mr. Powers. I was talking with the detective until a little while ago. I was on my way home, when all of a sudden... You there, you're under arrest. And I thought I was back. It's in my face and all self. General looks suspicious or something. I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious. I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids, isn't that a crime? So, about this testimony giving, what are you going to talk about? I really don't know yet, but it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me. You saw something important? What was it? Oh, well, the detective told me not to talk about it. Can't tell anyone, especially not that lawyer, he said.
Who do you think that lawyer is the detective was talking about?
Go ahead and take a wild guess and say it's me. Yeah, you got it.
Mr. Nick, just like Maya and myself are the only allies in this whole... You're only allies in this whole world. It's alright.
Ouch, I don't really have a lot of friends, do I? This is going a lot of damage to Matt, you know. This has got that refreshing like spring breeze image going. But what is he really like? Well, let's see, Matt's always been kind of a player with the women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say it's just a game to justify himself.
What? Oh, horrible. That's unforgivable.
No, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. You know, he said once... Only one person won't swoon me over. One person who wouldn't swoon him over? His manager, you know, Miss Sergeant Andrews. Why is Mr. Power suddenly looking kind of energetic? You see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities in their world have dazzling sort of image, right? Dazzling sort of image, but aren't you a part of that dazzle? No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see? But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of other stars around me, and things that happen. Well, that's true. Oh hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide? You mean Miss Park?
I hear something about her wedding was cancelled.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it the other day, about that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead. Hey, so you've heard this, right? Just left a suicide note. And they say Jean went and hid it. We heard about that in court today. There wasn't any actual proof that she'd left the note. Well, this is what I think. I think something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Jean, that is.
Something bad for Mr. Cordelia?
Why do you figure so? Well, before she died, Sis talked with a few of her friends, and she said it looks like I got caught up with a truly insidious man. Truly insidious? Insidious? Insidious. I'm definitely not looking up the definition of that word. In gradual, subtle way, but with harmful effects. Treacherous, crafty. Oh. So... she killed herself because John didn't actually love her? He just did it to spite... Despite Ungard, because Ungard actually liked that girl. Because he had a picture of her. So that could be true. Well, there's no way else, then. Fits the bill, right? And that would be the reason enough for him to hide the suicide note. I see, well, that's some good info. Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. Still things I don't understand yet. I have to get to the two of them and tell me everything. I am sure you won't hurt her. She'll let her go soon. Yeah. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. You'll save her. Thanks.
Sean's former manager, right? Celestin Bach. She was with the Global Studios for a while back then. Okay, there isn't any more. I figured there wasn't more details, but wanted to check. Well, let's hear from him. Dude, it's Mr. Wright. I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. My episode 2. Wentworth just dropped a bombshell on me by saying that John Cordelia was killed by an assassin, not the assassin's client. Is this man mad on God? Oh, that's wrong. Mr. On God, there's something I must know. 100% certainty. You seem kinda different. Like, you're totally not like your usual or yourself, dude. About the press conference. You the one where John is gonna dress up as me as Nickel Samurai? Yeah, I heard a little bit more about it from Miss Andrews. If you'll please fill me in on what this secret is, please. I knew this was coming. Mr. Heck, don't tell me. Psychic locks. He says secret, right? But I don't have any idea what it is. Do you, dude? Did you know about Mr. Cordelia and Miss Andrews' relationship? It was all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details. That's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what John did with his life. Mr. Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Cordelia. Her mentor was Mr. Cordelia's manager. Miss Andrew was going to get Miss Celestia's inbox suicide note from him. This? Does that jog any memories? Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. Up for a pizza and my treat. Mr. Nick, what's the pizza? Is it kind of like a pea? Like green peas? Let's go eat one later, okay? You got cut off by the pizza shop, dude. That's too bad. How about we get our minds off the topic and talk about something else, okay? Just on God. You connected to Miss Hawk's suicide in some way. I think so. Sounds like he might have been the cause of it. Mr. On God? Dude, I know I asked you to be my lawyer and all, but I don't think I have to tell you anything and everything. What do you mean by that? It just means I don't have to tell you anything and everything, dude. Kind of scared to show him this card. What's wrong, dude? So about this picture. Have you seen this anywhere before? No, I never saw it before in my life, dude. I don't think he's lying, or is he? And again, he looked like he gasped just now. Maybe I'm seeing things. Okay, so he still doesn't want to talk about this stuff? Mr. Nick, your cell phone. Hey, that's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. Sounds kind of ominous. Yeah, you know. Hello? We're in trouble now, pal. I'll be back in the office real soon. Something unexpected just happened. Mr. Edgeworth, Edgeworth? Anyway, hurry up and back to the office, pal. I don't know what's going on anymore. It's no good. In the end, oh, he got cut off. What's going on, Mr. Nick? Gumshoe said we need to go back to the office right away. And we should hurry back. I'm scared to go back. What are you talking about, Mr. Nick? Pull yourself together. Maybe it'll be good news. Somehow I doubt that. What took you so long, pal? Mr. Edgeworth couldn't stick around forever and had to go. Well, what happened?
We got him. We know who bought that spy camera.
Huh?
I like how his thing turned up a lead.
And this bear what gave him away, pal.
The bear.
I figured it out, pal. I figured that we shouldn't have been looking into the bear instead of the camera.
But wasn't it Mr. Edgeworth that figured?
Shh, pals. And, go on.
There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime.
Who is it? Who would be so rude to spy on another person in their room?
Man on guard.
Huh?
Man on guard. Your client. That's who, pal.
And yeah, I thought things couldn't get any worse. Are you sure you heard that? Right? The person who bought this bear was...
I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. There's the credit card and the receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's the exact match to the price of the stuffed bear.
A receipt? That's all you have?
No, it's not just a receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me, I'm sure. Sold the bear to Mr. Unguard. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Unguard's autograph on it, pal. Sure, the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Unguard himself.
My sight is failing me. This can't be. So, what about the spy camera we found?
That was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. For now, I guess I can give these back to you for evidence to file away. I know you don't want to give up, pal.
I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in John Cordero's room was man on guard.
Why would Mr. Unguard do something like that?
I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Cordarian when they're rendezvous.
No, I bet it's not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera.
You gonna see him, Mr. Unguard, I mean?
Yes.
I'm scared, Miss Jack. I wonder what we'll find out next.
I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for Pearls. Man on guard, what in the world have you done? So he probably caused her to commit suicide. Looks like no one is around.
What happened to that person with that stuffed teddy face?
Must mean the butler with the stitches in his face.
Shoo. There you are. I guess you're still awake, huh, Shoo? Come on, let's play.
I wonder if that butler, Mr. Doe, is already asleep or not. Very comfortable, spacious lounge. Was this feeling inferior today?
Me and Shoo.
Door, it's locked tight.
Is there no evidence I can grab? Do I just have to do this part now?
You're Cornelia, you know, it's already past 10 PM, dude.
I think it's time you told me the truth.
Relax, don't you know? Ignorance is bliss. If you really want to know, let's talk.
Well, let's see if we can even do this right now. Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Corderia had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed?
I told you before, dude. I don't know. I don't know anything about John, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue-faced, but I totally didn't pay John any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap.
Don't lie to me.
Huh?
I know you had paid close attention to Mr. Corderia, especially on that night.
Okay, almost run the
Do I show this first or the other thing first? I hate when they do this stuff. And I want my health to go down because I show them the right thing but in the wrong order. I always hate this game for that. How many times have I said that though? Okay, Andrew's one of the prisoners. He cannot talk to two people. Man on guard secret. A sci-fi. 5 psychic locks. Tell you. Otherwise, yes, 5. Okay, we got the receipt thing. Did that stuff. Think we might have everything. Let's see what your secret is. Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Cordera's room the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And this is sent the images to the camera tucked to the transmitter. Wow, but dude, where was the camera you're talking about hidden? The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. I guess John had a few of those kind of fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. You sure, dude? Who else could it be from? The person who gave the card. Wow, Mr. On God. Wait, what? Oh my god, I hate this game sometimes. Mr. On God, don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think, dude, I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Ah, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did the bear tell you? He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. On God. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think it was some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up the secret just yet. Well, do you have any proof? You want to show me first? Okay, now I show the receipt. I have 1 credit card receipt, Mr. On God. It was from when you bought the stuffed bear. Yeah, all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,000. I go to the department store all the time, okay? It was good for a toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush? Is ivory and it's got elephant hair bristles? Ew, elephant hair. Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yes? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like a stupid lawyer talk to me. Let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set up the camera yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm gonna find out what I want to know. Because I must. The reason you had this camera in Mr. Corey's room to film in secret is...
Andrews?
There's a rumor going around that Miss Andrews and Cordelia were having a secret meeting. You, who was keeping tabs on Mr. Cordelia, you were going to reveal this as a fact and turn it into a scandal, isn't that right?
Dude, you can be such a moron. Mr. Lawyer, dude, that kind of scandal, that's the good stuff. That's what we want in the industry called juicy.
The good stuff? Juicy?
Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny, that kind of stuff. I mean, if people would stop paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude.
Too bad that wasn't your intention.
What are you talking about?
I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Cordelia because of Miss Andrews. And there's only one reason I can think of that you do such a thing. The real reason you set up the camera in Cordelia's room was... picture card. Oh, yeah.
What is this card?
Maybe he doesn't know about this card. There's certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelley the Killer. And I'm sure you know of him, don't you?
Shelley the Killer? That's ridiculous. Why would I know someone, some scumbag like him?
Really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get the truth. Can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Mad on Guard. I know you know who the killer is. It's because... you're a hero who done justice. You're a star. You're his client. I mean, we already figured he was client, so... since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So, how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelley the Killer to assassinate Mr. John Cora. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, man on guard. Yeah, you're sighing, I'm sighing too.
Here I was trying to be a good dude for you too. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway.
Mr. On Guard, you really did hire?
Hold on a sec, I'm gonna consult myself, okay?
Consult myself?
Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway.
About time for what?
I think it's time for... I didn't see that part.
Why did he get a wine glass with, like, chocolate milk in it? Oh.
How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Mad on Guard.
What?
Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have.
So you really are Shelley the Killer's client.
You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you?
What do you mean?
And that woman, Erjin, was quite brave herself, trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that John is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer?
Yes, you're lying. What a terrible...
It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on. Let us grown-ups talk more. Adult things.
Why? Why did you hide the video camera in?
A weakling soon believes the words of others. Just like that pathetic... Adrian?
Adrian? You know about Miss Andrews' secret.
I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins.
What?
No, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth, care to guess?
And that's why?
Yes, that's why, where the video comes in. I got his face and crime scene recorded on it. Preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay, even blackmail him if I want. That's right, the video's my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright?
Why would you do something so wrong?
Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl.
My god.
Why? Why would you kill Mr. Cordelia?
Because he was about to go sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they?
It's all because of press conference, isn't it?
Mr. Cordelia had been able to give it than Mr. Engarde's secret would have.
Well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know? I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit, it crept up on me. And that situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought.
And that's how Mr. Cordelia ended up dead?
Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put on sweet innocent face and people will swallow anything up you feed them. Adrian fell for it. It's the assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone all working their butts off for me, met on guard. Oh, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You're getting awfully quiet.
How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When you first met, I asked you if you had killed John Cordelia. You answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone.
I know, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was the killer, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a catnap in my room.
You killed Mr. Cordelia.
I knew you'd say that in court tomorrow. Oh, but too bad you can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? Oh, but you can't, can you? That'd be one thing you absolutely can't do.
Mystic Maya.
You wouldn't want to test a killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose.
So wait, does the killer not even like this guy either? He's just working for him because he blackmailed him?
So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution.
I'll get you for this.
That's such a cliche phrase. John said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, you all know how well those things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer.
Maya, what am I supposed to do?
Now you finally found it. The starting line of this case.
Antworth.
I don't care for the hoarded atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Well, Wright, what are you going to do if you plan on changing your strategy?
No, you can't do that.
That's right, he's holding Maya hostage.
What should I do?
That's not something I can answer for you.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Right, only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago at the time, I didn't truly understand what prosecutor was. That is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. But that I couldn't stand a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, right, it's your turn.
My turn?
What is the thing they call a lawyer? Call a lawyer. What can you do as one? You must find the answer. You must find it on your own.
I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer, met on guard, that man is really...
It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the bias of our judicial system?
Proper defense. But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcefully blindly gets equal through shouting and trickery?
Ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you fought for your clients up until now?
Well, that might be true, but that's because I believe my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get on guard acquitted, that isn't proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who are suffering, and
and pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right, once you get a hold of yourself, you have it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes, we're only human. You and I. You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? That's... You're a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. People like you and Francesca von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict for a man I clearly know is to be guilty. Francesca, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record, that's all. And isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You are so petty. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. What do you mean? Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as perfect records were meaningless. What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that that is why you left the prosecutor's office? But then why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you'll be powerless to change the ending of the story.
Let's say that to the transceiver.
I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, you wager you can obtain an acquittal tomorrow. My. What is the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time. Tell me, please. Why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Engard's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right. Please don't misunderstand things. He's my client. Don't toy with me. A man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself. I believe you are asking for a reason as to why I'm doing what I am. Yeah. This is what I like to call my aftercare. What the heck is aftercare? My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients for my handiwork. That is called client relations, and is part of the assassin's duty. An assassin's duty? We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you would do everything in your power to ensure that to the very end. What is your name? I believe I told you once before, however. You did, but... My name is the Killer. Shelly the Killer. You're Shelly the Killer. Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As the Killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep your end of the bargain... Maya. It'd be my duty as an assassin to see to it she receives a long nap. Now then, if you'll excuse me. If someone were to trace this signal back to me, it would be such troublesome.
We heard the... We already knew where it was, but they're just solidifying it if you weren't sure.
Sick Maya.
I don't know what to say.
Edgeworth. Did you hear that at the end of the transition?
Oh, that. It sounded like a cat.
A cat?
It can't be that cat, can it?
Why is it?
I think I know where Shelly the Killer is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all the police units head to Mr. Ungard's mansion immediately.
Alright. You hurry over there as well then.
Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun. We can throw Ungard under the bus when we're done. I have to go here first. And then we can go here. Maya!
He's interesting, Sick Maya.
As they're completely surrounded, there is no way for him to escape. Assuming he's still here in the area. Can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer. He and On Guard were working together all this time. I'm sure they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of time.
Oh, it's a figure bear. There are a lot of cuts for some reason.
There. Is that more of a thing for Mr. Cordelia? Or would something like this be here? Right, look down. There's a little pet doll installed.
I'm sure that's Shu.
You think this came through the little door? Wait. This door, it's locked. Well, it's used for breaking doors down, but let's go, Edgeworth. They do it together. Ah, there's no one in here. Look at this room, I'd say On Guard's private lounge. Look at this, Wright. An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals and a VCR. Check inside the desk. If it's a tape, it would be an important piece of evidence. And if we're lucky, it'll have a moment the crime was committed to recorded on it. I'm sorry, but tape desk is empty. There's no tape to be found.
No.
There's no mistake that someone used this to record something. Looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. He searched all over, but it looks like he got away. I'm sorry. Looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time. And now we lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. That little girl's looking to you to be her pillar. Yeah, you're right. We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us. Maya. This looks like a picture of Miss Park. With love, Celeste.
Miss Park, you mean?
Yes, Miss Cordelia's former manager.
Why would a picture of Miss Park be here in the Sun Guard's mansion?
And why does it say with love? This might be a clue. What's wrong, girls?
Please let me see that picture frame. On the back, there's something written on the frame. Maya. Mystic Maya, she left us a message.
What?
I thought you'd come. I knew you would. Now listen up. You better get On Guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime ball not guilty, I'll never forgive you ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I'll have a lot of time. Pearl, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's gotta watch out for that for the helpless lung. That's it for now.
How do I keep skipping those parts?
Mystic Maya.
Right. What's wrong? Why the blank stares? Nothing. We searched the house, and this is the last room. It looks like he's eluded us. Edgeworth. Yes? As far as clues goes, I think this is about all I'm going to get. But I'm still short one last thing. And what is that? She was hiding something? Miss Andrews' psychic lock. If I could just find out what a secret she's holding, then I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow. To blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Let's go, Pearls. It's time to open that last lock. I'm guessing the picture will do that. Seems like everything's kind of wrapping up itself, and I don't even have to look at anything. What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews, I've come to remove your psychic lock.
Psychic lock.
I want to know, and you'll tell me. Your secret.
Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can.
Why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. On Guard for murder? I've already told you countless times, it's because I thought Matt was the killer.
No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. Ungard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge.
So you were saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, that's why? What a absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for.
Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people. There's something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge.
I'll show this first, but I'm not sure if they'll let me.
Celeste.
There's only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings and even revenge. That is Mussenbach's suicide.
What are you trying to say? Celeste was John's manager. Top of that, the one who hit her suicide note was also John. What does all that have to do with Matt?
You're right. You haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Mr. Ungard, it would have to mean that he must have had some relation to Miss Pox and her suicide. This is a photo of Miss Park, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love. That's Celeste, whatever. It's Miss Park's handwriting, isn't it?
Where did you find that? No, that's... Alright, it was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. Ungard's mansion.
And after all this time, this remaining secret has been revealed. Celeste, she was supposed to get married to John.
Yes, but I heard that didn't work out.
Because Mr. Corriere didn't want to get married to her anymore, right? Yes, because of Matt. Because of Mr. Ungard? What do you mean?
I think I can see where this is going. What was it, did he get threatened? Or something? Or whatever, I don't know.
Celeste, she was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at that time. I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why...
with Love Celeste is written on the frame, that picture.
They were a couple, weren't they? It wasn't anything splendid as that. Celeste was being used. Toyed with until she was thrown away. That's so horrible.
So Matt was manipulating her the entire time.
Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that. Which is why Celeste and her kindness moved over to the Worldwide Studio. That's where she met John. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was Matt. Celeste and John were such a good match that they even planning to get married. And then it was suddenly called off. The night John called off their marriage, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. Sure, even you can guess why John called off the wedding, right? I confessed to John about his relationship with Celeste.
I see, so that's what happened.
But, then why did Mr. Corriere have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all. It's probably because of his worthless male pride. John and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on John. He was aiming for when it would hurt John the most. I missed some hawk. That wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain Celeste's note, that a suicide note was left behind. In the note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds. And she then would never again be hurt by Matt. She chose to die. Then when John discovered her body, he hid her note. But why would he do that? It's simple. John realized that the note was a powerful weapon against Matt. It'd be especially damaging to his refreshing spring breeze image. In any case... With his pride hurt, John sought revenge.
Revenge. That word again.
John wanted to publicly disclose the contents of the suicide note. At a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course.
And that was...
At the press conference after the show. I know all about it because I heard it from John. It was also I could find out all this. I drew close to John to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? And Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night when I found John's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another, after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. It was going to burn it. I had even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note. That's when my revenge crossed my mind. I was going to bring them my own kind of cruel revenge. So they were just both playing a celebrity game with tons of money and ended up hiring an actual assassin. Celeste was killed by those two monsters. So when I stabbed John's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. And that's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all this, are you still going to help that man?
I'm a lawyer.
I see. What a foul profession.
Thank you very much for your time and talking with me.
It's no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway.
I can't sleep either, not with my situation, or with what I know now. Happy things.
Well, we've gone for 3 hours. I didn't even notice how much time has gone by. But I guess for this to-be-continued thing, we'll stop there then. So for anyone who jumped in for a bit or whatever, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one. I don't know if I will stream the next few days. I have some work I still need to do, and I have like a jury duty thing to take care of now, so I might have to deal with that the next few days, or like next week or something. I don't know how long it'll be. I'll have to deal with it in some way, so my streams might be a little weird. This time because of jury duty instead of just having a lot of work, but I do have some work I need to finish still. But yeah, catch you guys later. Till then.